Hey you guys, welcome to our second to last week of learning. If you are watching this video, you are doing the 7x2 distance learning. So just make sure you are in the right spot. I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough of what you're going to be looking at this week. So first of all, you will notice that my format will look different. It's because we're really starting to zero in on the end of the school year. So rather than breaking things into days, I'll just kind of show you. There are really 3 tasks that you have. So I just put them all like, here's the 3 things you need to complete this week. 1, 2, and 3. And also just because this is a short week too, I was just having a hard time trying to think of what goes what on what day. So anyway, your first task is the easiest one. That is just make sure you are spending time reading something that you enjoy, at least 15 minutes every single day. There's access to online books, you know the drill. Task 2 for this week is this is our very final week for passion projects. So this is going to be your last week filling out that passion project tracking form. You will be filling out week 6, and that's due by the end of the week. This week you are going to turn that document in, like actually click turn in when you're done, because this is our last week. Can't even believe it. Make sure you are adding detailed notes to that. Task 3, your last task, this is the big one for this week. We are going to be writing the rest of the paper that we started last week and getting that turned in. So there are 2 steps within task 3, which is writing this reflection paper. Step A, you are going to use, I made a graphic organizer for you to write the next 3 paragraphs in your essay. Remember last week you wrote your introduction already. This week you are going to write 3, that's not the one I want, 3 additional paragraphs. Okay, so you're going to write paragraphs 2 through 4. Just a reminder, the prompt is, what did you learn from completing your passion project? Paragraph 1 is done. You did that on a document last week. Paragraph 2, your focus is really about the good stuff. So how did it go? How successful was your project? And what did you do well? So at least one of those questions, all 3 of those questions kind of lend into themselves, but you are going to focus this paragraph on the good. So you're going to start with a topic sentence, and I would start by thinking of a type of answer to those questions, and maybe I'm going to zero in on the success and what I did well. So my topic sentence might be something like, my passion project was successful in many ways. Remember, in a topic sentence, you stay broad, and then that way you're giving yourself room to be able to discuss that later. So my passion project was successful in many ways. That might be my topic sentence, boom. Then I'm going to go more into detail. So I'm going to go into the examples. My passion project was successful because I created a schedule and I stuck to it. It was also successful and a great learning experience for me because I learned a new skill that I've always wanted to know how to do and to be able to do well, and blah, blah, blah. So you're going to explain a little bit more in detail your answer to those questions. And then this kind of goes a little bit a step further. You're going to provide an example or evidence. So if I say, one of the things that I thought was successful for me was just being able to stick to a schedule. For example, I made sure every single week that I spent at least 2 hours working on my calligraphy. 1 hour for whatever, 1 hour for whatever. Okay, so you're going to give a specific example of what went well. Then you're going to explain that too. Like if I'm using my example, I stuck to my schedule 2 hours a week. This is really a success for me because I often struggle to do longer tasks and I burn out quickly on big projects. I'm excited at first and then I just completely lose steam. So it was big progress for me that I was able to make a plan and stick to it. And then finally you're going to conclude. So you're going to add some closure. If you need something to look back to, look back at this topic sentence and you can reflect and rewrite that a little bit differently. That is body paragraph 2. Body paragraph 3 is going to flip it, and that's going to be more about the bad side. So what could you have improved upon and what was the struggle? What struggles did you have? So again, you're going to start with a topic sentence, which is going to answer broadly those questions. So unfortunately, though my passion project was mostly successful. There were a few areas where I struggled. That might be a topic sentence. You're not going to name them specifically yet, but you're just going to say in general, acknowledge that there were struggles or it was difficult. Again, then you're going to explain your answer further. You are going to provide a specific example, like for example, in week 5, I completely forgot what I learned in week 1 and blah, blah, blah. Okay. You're going to explain that again, then you're going to wrap it up. That's paragraph 3. Last but not least, paragraph 4 is switching to a more reflective piece, and that's not just about your passion project now, but what did you learn about yourself as a learner through this project? Like, did you learn that you are very good at learning things from video, or you learned that you need to learn things by doing whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, or you learned that you learn best when you fill in the blank. So this one's turning it to yourself in general. What did you learn about yourself as a learner? You're going to answer that question broadly. Again, you're going to provide some information about that. And then this is kind of like our conclusion paragraph as well. You're going to provide a final thought, which is going to bring your audience complete closure and the reader full circle. So what I would suggest strongly in doing this is all about yourself really as a learner. You did this through a passion project, but I would end by talking about what you're going to use, what knowledge you learned about yourself as a learner that you're going to use throughout the rest of your learning career. So as I look forward to high school next year, I'm so glad that I realized that I learn best when I blah, 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 because now I know I'll be more successful at studying for next year. And okay, so where is this going to guide you? Like, what direction is this learning going to take you in general? That's kind of a thought-provoking one, so you're going to have to sit back and think about that one probably a little bit more. Okay, so look through each of the sections and then you can just type your answers right in the box across from it. That is going to be completing the information for your reflective paragraphs, okay, for your entire paper. So this is a 4-paragraph paper. That is step A, using that graphic organizer sheet. Then step B is just when you're completely finished with that step A piece, when you've done all this, you're going to take all of your information from this paper and you're going to put it into a paper, a Google Doc, so it looks like a paper. So you're going to need to go back to the slides that you turned in last week with your introduction paragraph. You're going to copy and paste that onto a new document. You're going to copy and paste all the info from your body paragraphs from step A that you just finished working on in here to make 3 additional paragraphs. And then of course you're going to go back through and you're going to make sure that you've done your editing and all that good stuff. There is a checklist for you. I think this is it. Hooray. That shows how you're going to be graded on that. So you're going to be graded on paragraphing, which we have walked you through. If you take each individual paragraph and make sure you're indenting for those, you should be good to go. We want to make sure you have at least one specific example that you're getting very, very specific about. So like for my calligraphy example, it might be that in week 3, I really had a hard time learning how to write the letter B, which is legit. I don't know why capital B is so freaking hard. It's crazy. You could also use, you guys have done a ton of research on your topic, so you could discuss some from that as well. The next part is how well did you explain yourself? Really, we just want you guys to explain what you're thinking, explain what you're saying more in detail. So that's really, for me, this is the biggest, most important component. Are you putting your paper in MLA format? I'll talk about that in just a moment. And then are you missing grammatical errors? Like, is it clear that you went back through and you proofread your paper, or you put it through, I'm blanking on what we used all year to check our papers Grammarly, that it looks good to go. I put an example picture of what MLA format looks like. We did this all year. So if you remember, it's your last name and then you'll insert a page number. And then it's your name, my name, and Miss Casper's name, our class, so language arts, and the date. They did it in fancy way. You can do it May 24th, 2020, whatever it is. Then it's your title, and then it's just making sure you indent where your new paragraphs go. Okay, everything is double spaced. Shouldn't be a crazy font. Like we're talking, it should be Arial or Times New Roman and size 11 or 12, and then that's it. When you are finished with that, you guys, you're going to turn in your paper, and guess what? You are done with that. So that's awesome. So again, just to review super quick, three overall things this week you're going to read. You're going to complete your last week of Passion Project tracking, and you're going to write those last paragraphs, write your whole document, compose it together, and you're going to turn it in. Now, all of this stuff technically is due by Thursday. However, by the time you get this, it's already going to be Tuesday. And I know that you're finishing up a paper. So I'm going to keep that date on there. However, I'm going to give you through the entire week to get it turned in. So just get it turned in to me before Monday of next week. There's some fun stuff down at the bottom you can check out, and I think that's about it. So, yeah, week 7, we've got this week and next week to go. That's it. I know you guys can do it. I hope you have a great week. Let me know if you have questions. Talk to you later. Bye.